The fuck happened there?
No idea.
I rolled 298s in a row.
Fuck's sake, Ronan.
I'm going to leave. Yeah, all fun playing with you.
That would be best.
Yeah, all fun playing with you. Great Crusade's great game. Don't think cut out for it.
What just happened?
Skype just played.
Ronan.
Apologies for anyone viewing. Slight issue with Skype, and Shaun's just logging back in right now.
The fuck happened? The fuck is this?
Ronan.
Yeah?
Language.
Calming down. Calming down.
Not language
Don't
I
worry.
have a problem with.
No, it's...
Then just shut up.
It's...
Well, he's kind of doing something.
Shot.
Do I get an awareness check too, since I'm standing right there? Or
No,
is it
this is
specific
him.
to
This is him awareness trying to use the Auspex to locate the frequency.
Well, no, he's got to find one first. I thought, because you said I couldn't just use it either. I have to go find one.
This is him trying to find, like, see if there's anything unusual in the area around him. This is just he'll be able to he'll be able to home in if he directly finds an active one. But this
Can
is
I
just
just
him blanket
reach
checking.
over and take it from him and kind of be like, let me.
Only if he decides to tell you that he's as blind as a bat and completely incapable of using technology.
Well,
Daevos was the one who lost
like,
an
I
eye.
look at the Auspex, and I'm like...
Yeah, but remember,
Wait.
even with the negative from losing an eye, I'm still a better shot than the rest of them. So,
Right. So, technically what this says right now is that Septum has never seen an Auspex before. Is that what this check is telling?
This check is saying that recent shell shock and possibly a different mark of lunar wolf pattern Auspex has led to you being unable to discover how such a machine operates to its exact function.
you can't
Should I
find
say
the
that
on button.
now, or should I say that when Shaun comes back?
Well, we're on live stream, so it's fine.
Fair enough. Igorek, this model of Auspex is not what I'm familiar with.
I hold out my hand for him to hand it back to me, and then I'm going to try.
Yeah.
What was it again? Plus 30?
Plus 30
My
awareness check.
fucking god.
Plus 30? Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Plus 30,
Yeah, plus 30. Fuck you, feeling. Fuck you!
There he is.
Okay,
So, there we
you
go.
realise that somehow he'd managed to reset everything. And after a few moments fiddling, you managed to get it back on track. And after doing a brief pulse scan in your immediate area, you don't notice anything directly problematic in the immediate vicinity, but there are unusual signal pulses coming from areas deeper into the camp. If he just keeps on this setting, he should be fine to keep on.
Alright, so I point out the anomalies to him and then hand them back and say, thank you, good luck, and then I'm going to attempt to open a box of Tyvir.
No. No, Apothecary. Thank you. Oh, walk off.
I'll pause there and give people a chance to do something
Okay.
before I talk to Tyvir.
So,
Unless nobody wants to do anything.
no, yeah, so Tyvir, while you're just sat there in self-misery,
It's not misery.
self-masochism,
It's not masochism.
fine. As you
Self-pondering.
just sit there in pain on
Yeah,
a bed,
that's accurate.
do you do anything other than stare at the what looks like rather as you're starting to ascribe emotions to this skull now? Like, it does seem almost kind of look on its face.
Kyle's just dropping fucking,
Bombs.
just dropping bombs.
I
No,
wouldn't recommend doing that considering that's appearing on the stream, guys.
like, Games Workshop. Gonna be not happy.
No, it's not that. It's just I don't need just random text coming on my screen. While you are sitting there just staring at the skull, it does suddenly speak. Bit
I
slow
can't be
on
tripping that hard.
bit slow on the draw.
I'm just gonna continue to stare at it.
Cat got your tongue, 8th Legion? You were more mouthy when you were stabbing me.
Pretty sure I was silent during all that, but I'm just gonna stare at it in silence.
It does, if physically it was able to, raise an eyebrow, but lacking them. It just seems to, its head just seems to ever so slightly shift as it tries to do the semblance of doing so. As it just stares right back at you.
After about 20 seconds of silence, I'm going to slide off my cot and just assume a kneeling position, using the stake to steady myself. Just get right up in front of it. Kiss. And by the way, Vari dice. In case anyone's wondering.
Yes.
I get right up to it. I'm going to burn them all. And then I'm going to set their skulls to join you. And I just push myself back up into the bed.
No, it's not a bad idea. I could do some company. It's quite lonely.
The head of the king guy's there.
Yeah, he's not speaking. Just Arik. Anyway, you might want to get that looked at. I'd hate for you to die such a pathetic death as an old injury. Though I must say, it would bring me
I can survive worse.
It would bring me great pleasure to watch you die in front of me, pathetic, unable to deal with your own weakness.
I know you're not really here. You're in whatever hole Deltrian put you in.
He didn't say anything.
Is this really Arik talking? Or is it him?
It laughs and goes, no, it's the remnant of Alaric's bitterness and rage and fury and everything. And to be honest, it's all locked up in your own fucked up psyche.
Well, if you see him, tell him he'll be satisfied soon.
Oh, I will. Anyway, you really ought to get that looked at. And as you notice, you actually feel it. You can feel trickles of blood as the wound begins to open up again. Not dangerous, but not a good sign either.
I take the stake and just push myself up. And I'm out of armor actually, so I have a bare hand. And I just place it on the skull and say, "Never forget, you lost." And then I walk out.
And as you walk out, you just hear him begin to hum a tune. And that just follows you all the way out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if everyone else is kind of, so we've got the Dreadnought hiding, Daevos currently being ministered to, and at this moment Deltrian's now got you onto, he's cleared what looks like a portion of his workshop with his Mechandrite, kind of like just beckoned for you to take a seat. And as he does so, you see, he gets you down, and a whirring drill comes out of the Mechandrite, and you see it come ominously closer and closer to your working eye.
Didn't kill the others. Didn't kill the others. Just going back and forth in his head.
Do you say anything out loud as the drill comes closer and closer?
Nope.
Really?
You want to pronounce the wrong eye?
Really?
Which eye did you say? Did you say right eye?
No, he's going over the eye.
Your
That's
working
yeah,
eye.
the working eye. He's got a drill
Oh,
going
working
towards your
eye.
working eye.
If it's going for the working eye, sorry, I missed that part.
I was like, really? Yeah, the drill's going
Sorry.
close towards your working eye.
As he kind of does that, David just puts up his hand and just pushes it, just enough so that it's in front of the other wherever I should be, and just lets him continue.
Deltrian like stops the drill. It kind of stops the motion, and you see his head kind of like almost shift over the eye you've got like that. And I go, "You requested one bionic augmented eye."
Yes, I requested that you. Well, I thought you would have assumed that I wanted it in the non-functional eye. You seem like a smart man.
I
didn't
apologise.
want
I've
to
made a fault.
belittle you by specifying which one it was.
Deltrian eyes you. There is respect in his ocular implants. I have met someone of my equal, it seems, as his head kind of slips back around the hand you pushed it to the side, and the drilling continues towards the empty socket, clearing away any of the last tissue. It does hurt like a bitch, but as you grip the side of the table, just forcing your body through the relaxing mantras and hypnotherapy, it eventually clears, and he goes, "We will need to sedate you for the rest of this operation. The Astartes physiology does not allow for foreign objects to enter without at least some resistance. I hope you understand." And before you have time to answer, you just feel 3 needles slam into the side of your neck.
When you experience that, as he falls back into unconsciousness.
As he just returns to Igorek and goes, "You must pass on my appreciation towards cousin Septum Cyber. His experimentation and his willingness to throw his body upon my feet for the science was most appreciated for these endeavours." As he then proceeds to start wiring in a mechanical eye into Davis's head. You will be out for about 8 hours.
Cool.
Just chuckle a bit. So, at this point, I go looking for Tyvir.
Yeah, as you walk out, you do see Tyvir hobbling out of his tent, and you see his wound has opened up, and for that to have happened to an Astartes indicates grave damage. But he seems to be just stubbornly walking through what must be unsurmountable pain, using a sharpened stake as a walking stick. He seems a little bit pale.
I just stalk past him.
Like some help. Okay.
I hobble pretty fast, frankly. My hobbling speed is 3 meters. And it's like,
I just go forward and open the door to the.
That's the same as most humans.
Or
Yeah, out of politeness, you open the door to him, even though you realise that with the huge holes that have been caused by structural integrity damage to the structure, you could actually just walk in around the door.
It's the.
Out of politeness, you open the door and Tyvir walks on through, I assume. Deltrian looks around and goes, "You seem to have suffered some superficial damage, cousin."
Is there like an operating table that's empty or anything?
There is a workbench he has cleared.
Yeah, I just go and sit on that.
Please do not blame my equipment.
I look at Deltrian and say, "You want to handle the leg, and I'll take care of the rest of it."
Yeah, make sure wounds, do whatever it is you do, Igorek. Just make sure it's ready for implantation.
Same as before?
Yep, same check plus 40.
Okay, and you're at 0, right, Shaun?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a -10.
Jesus Christ.
Unnecessary amounts of healing. And people ask why we had to nerf it.
You actually just grow the leg back, it's fine.
But yeah,
Oh no, that was mostly to fix my hand.
The funniest thing is, even if you were to half the amount of healing, it would still be more than most people's max wounds.
yeah. Well, if you were to double your wounds back to normal amount of wounds, it'd still be more than most P players' wounds. But anyway,
That's still more than most people have when you're playing with full wounds. So
he spends a lot of time making the wound, cleaning it, sealing it over with synth skin, ensuring checking nerve damage, ensuring everything is absolutely fine for the preceding implantation process. He then moves his attention to your hand, which had been badly damaged during the fight, and after setting it and casting it, re-breaking a couple of digits to deal with the fact that the Astartes physiology repairs bones quickly, he kind of sets it in place, allowing your body again to naturally recover over time. Yep.
I'm also just going to point out here, too, that if we were playing by, I haven't been, but if we were playing by full 2nd edition healing rules, that would actually be 40 wounds restored, because you also add the amount of degrees of success to the wounds restored. Just saying. Just saying.
There's a reason I don't like 2nd edition healing.
Right.
That's why I don't worry. It's not necessary, so I don't worry about that part of it.
Oh look, you've been ran over by a land raider. I'm fine. Anyway, so yeah, you ensure that while not whole, his body has been restored to at least a working order and is successfully implanted. And by this point, Deltrian has decided to come over. Most of the intricate part of the implantation process is done. Most of it's now setting in and making sure everything meshes fine with his superhuman physiology. So, what is your combined toughness bonus?
9, I believe. As Deltrin is like preparing me for implantation, he has. I assume he has the leg.
He's not got like he's got like a framework of a chassis leg at this point in time, like where it will go in.
Whenever he gets close to me, I like grab him by not the like this part of the shoulder, like not right in the chest, but like over here. And I say, "Just the leg. Don't touch anything else." Like, just no mirth, just dead seriousness in my face.
Deltrian looks like he might be about to.
Igorek still chuckles.
He might be about to crack a joke, but decides now is probably not the best of time, and leans back and goes, "Understood, cousin." Are you sure nothing else? But like he thinks for a second and goes, "Do you want anything on the leg?"
I gotta push myself up off the. I don't know, Septum. Is Septum here?
No, he's gone hunting for auspex signals.
Yeah, I just push myself up and just look him dead in the eye. Be like, just the goddamn leg.
Understood, cousin. As he then pushes you back down onto your back, and it looks around, and after like going over your body and everything, what's your toughness bonus, by the way? 9. You will be out for doobie because of the tool. Let me roll that. You'll be out for 1 day.
Oh.
I'm rolling very low on the amount of time it takes to reduce the toughness bonus.
It is 2d10, so it could be average or really low.
Well, I rolled a 2 and a 7, so that's 9, so it's technically reduced to 0, minimum 1. So
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, you sit back, and as he starts to get the framework out for the mechanical leg ready, of which you notice he has a growing amount, the Astartes war effort requiring a huge number of augmetics to be prepared. After the framework goes in, he goes, much like Brother Daevos, I must sedate you for the rest of the procedure. Please do not panic or lash out at me at any attempt, for we were forced to remove your other limbs as well. And then
I just crinkle my nose slightly, and then
and then you feel 3 needles sliding into your neck, and you soon too also doze off into a tranquilized dream. And he begins to get to work on your leg as well, while also dealing with the eye. Leaving awake Septum Cyber, who is currently hunting for signals. Can you make me another +30 awareness check, please?
Sure, you want me to
pass this one?
Well, there's no one else to help you, so.
Okay.
Don't fuck up.
That's not helping.
Pass.
Oh, fuck.
Pass.
Easy.
yeah, he passed the
Okay,
test.
now that you've been, now it's been gone through with you, and you've become accustomed to this new mark of auspex, you find yourself finding it much easier to home in on the signals, and one by one you find various transponder codes littered around the place. After a few minutes, you send out signals to, you vox other squads and inform them of the same procedure, and they too join in the hunt, carpeting the entire Legion and Imperial Army encampment, finding dozens of these devices scattered in all directions. And eventually you find, you reach your end of your area, allocated area, and you head back to the encampment. Nothing more seems to be available to find.
How big are these things?
About that big.
Can I bring back a deactivated one to Deltrin?
There's 2 deactivated ones in your encampment.
Oh, in that
Well,
case.
one's been deactivated, one's been shot.
I'll go back. Yeah, then I'll just head back. Don't need to do anything then.
Okay, Dreadnought. What are you up
Waiting for Arik.
to? Arik.
What?
What would you like to do?
Am I not as holy as I was beforehand?
Not as, no.
Yeah, I
you've
fixed
been,
you.
You've been largely restored.
You've been corked.
You've been the holes have been filled. Take that in any way as you like.
Jesus Christ.
You have been
Lots of
restored back to
tampons.
working order by the Igorek administrations, and after you stand up,
Lots
the
and
armor.
lots of tampons.
Stop!
Sick. I
And,
want to go find my
They're
wayward
absorbent.
captain.
it's not hard to find
Fresh.
your wayward captain, as a brief
Yeah.
stroll soon reveals the hulking structure still behind the passageway between his quarters and the war room.
I'm a beautiful fern.
I'm just gonna stroll up to him and just be like, "What a wonderful white tree, Captain."
Equerry. So, I have a small list of questions, and I feel you're probably in the best position to inform me. First, what's going on? No one seems to want to tell me anything, and that concerns me.
As it should.
Answer at your leisure, Equerry.
It's fine. It's fine, really. Roll.
Can I spark the power field on my siege sledge?
Yeah. As you say, it's fine. You hear you see crackling bolts of lightning arcing along the surface of his fundamentally terrifying weapon.
All right. Not that fine. I did pick a man up. I didn't actually realise who he was. He was quite annoyed about it.
I heard that part.
I'm
We'll
looking
get to
to
that.
fix it.
We'll get to that bit later. I'm thinking more large scale here, Arik.
We got attacked.
I noticed that. Before the attack, you bumbling buffoon.
The Warhounds want to kill everything. But what else is new?
Okay, so when he says that, a large sort of gout of thick black smoke comes out of the generator on his back, and you're not sure if that's sort of a demonstration of him sighing or if he's just getting angrier.
Or if Delta
Take a
has a new
step
job
back,
to do.
regardless.
This conversation does seem to be going nowhere for you, Darnik, as the Equerry seems either entirely clueless to the situation or is playing political master games around you. You may decide.
Sorry. Can I when the twin-linked Volkite Caliver is powering up? Is it audible?
Yeah, it hums. You can't shoot him.
You've already
Really? I've
tried!
already done it twice. So I sort of lower my arms a little bit and my head in my sort of
Helmet.
just kind of goes down a little bit. Says, Arik, the campaign in general. What's the plan? What's going on? How specifically does Khan the bloodied bastard want to kill everything? And what are we doing in our involvement?
I think Shaun's a little bitter about being killed.
Yeah, he seems a bit agitated. I'm just generally going to fill him in on the plans.
You've forgotten
Since
the plan,
the war
haven't
room.
you?
I have a plan. It was great.
Can you remember the
I mean,
plan?
I had a
was
plan.
great.
And then Tyvir had a plan.
Right, Darnik, you're...
That was-
Could you detail those plans for us, though? That is what we're asking here.
What? That's a no.
We're taking the piss, Kai. We're taking the piss. Darnik, the original plan was to send in Tyvir along with a world eater or agent, warhound agent called Skal, to infiltrate and cause as much chaos as possible within the city itself, opening the gates, disabling power generators, the whole just situation. At that point, the World Eaters, the Warhounds, were going to run in and kill everything. The plan of Tyvir and Daevos and everyone else's idea was to use Stormbirds to land in various populated areas, working with the 13th Legion to secure civilian areas from the Warhounds, basically walling them off and directing the Warhounds in their fury towards more militant and more viable targets.
I've just realised that Shaun wasn't actually here. And I was just
That's
being
why.
very obtuse for no reason.
That's why I was actually asking you to fill him in. He was not here for the session.
Actually, I was here for that one.
Were you there for that one?
I was here for the bickering. The
Oh,
bickering was the session after I wasn't here.
Ah, right. Anyway, so that's
This-
the plan.
Yeah. The session I wasn't here was the one that was only an hour long.
Oh yeah. Technical issues.
Did you get my message?
If I'm not responding to the question, probably not. Drop pods.
Okay.
Steel raid.
But anyway, so Arik falls with that, and but as you do so, again, the General Vox, the Legion Vox, crackles up, and all of you in the command squad, as well as Darnik, hear the voice of Khan and Gideon demanding a war meeting at once.
Oh god.
Does Septum get it?
Yes, Septum's part of the command squad, so he does get it as well.
Okay. As soon as Khan and Gideon have sort of left the channel, I send a squad-wide Vox saying, "Don't tell them I'm awake," and I walk back towards Deltrian's.
Deltrian already has.
Yes, but they don't believe him or care.
Fair enough.
If they actually see me and if it gets confirmed by my men, it might have a bit more of an impact.
Anyway,
Khan's gonna
What's
come
gonna
out.
do? Kill you again?
He can fucking try.
Yeah.
He might succeed.
At which point I thump off towards Deltrian's compound again.
very loud tapping of keys.
Sorry.
Anyway, so you stomp off towards, and Deltrian, as you walk into Deltrian's chambers, his eyes rotate around while he's working on Tyvir and Daevos, and stare at you as you kind of sit down, kind of hunk yourself against the recharging station. He says nothing, however.
I Vox Arik again, and I say, if you can, Equerry, leave your Vox mic on directly to me. I'd like to know what's going on for a change.
Okay. So minutes pass as people work upon the individuals, Daevos and Tyvir. Septum, you return from your findings, bringing with you, good news of discovering many of these devices, if not all of them.
Yeah, I definitely report that.
And soon enough, Khan and Gideon turn up in your camp. Gideon, as usual, controlled, though his quite autocratic features are quite ridged with fury, and Khan just not even trying to hide it, just livid beyond measure. Has the knuckles white as he grips a chain axe that looks like it really needs to be cleaned because it's now currently more flesh than metal. Every step shaking off gobbets of organ and blood as he strides towards the war room, just walking past all of you.
So while they're on their way there, I'm talking to the other apothecaries in the company through the box to find out what the casualties are like and see if any of them need any help.
Casualties were actually remarkably light in the more packed areas where the Astartes were able to bring them down without being outnumbered like 50 to 1. Most of the warriors who were declared, who were taken down in the fight will recover perfectly fine. You maybe lost a couple of Marines.
Okay, cool. So in that case, I'll actually go to this meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so Arik attends this meeting. His Vox left on. Septum, are you attending?
Yeah, I'm attending, if I was asked to.
Daevos and Tyvir, you're unfortunately not in a fit state to attend this meeting. Igorek will, and Darnik is playing mind games. So,
Well, someone can record the meeting for us.
yes, the three of you head into the war room where you see Gideon, Khan, and Skarl stood around the table.
Gents?
Evening.
Acting Captain, Khan says.
Captain.
Where's Darnik? I thought he was living. I want to take his head from his shoulders and make sure this time.
Question:
I think you did that last time.
if I spoke, would Khan be able to hear my voice through his Vox?
Depends if whether he's using a helmet for the open Vox or not. Is your helmet on?
Yes.
Is your helmet
Yes.
on, Arik?
No, it's not.
In which case you'd be able to hear the Vox.
Okay.
Anyway, Khan just slams the axe into the table, just strides away and runs his hands through his, his short yet quite thick hair. Leans back, just cricking his neck, and goes, just breathing out. Looks back down and goes, "Where's Tyvir?"
Unconscious. He's having a leg reattached, or a new leg attached.
How long will he be out for?
The rest of the day.
Well, night.
Well, you know what I mean. Till tomorrow.
Hours, right?
He just regains control of himself again. He goes, "All right. We're meant to launch today, but we'll launch tomorrow. I don't care how fit or healthy he is. I don't care if he's got a chance of coming back out of it alive again. He gets in there and we go through with our previous mission. We cannot keep sustaining these attacks. Not to mention the fact that disunity amongst these legions seems to be hitting a rather entertaining level, and I swear to God I see another 13th Legion member coming into my encampment. I'll have his head on a spike. Gideon looks controlled. In fact, he seems worryingly controlled.
Yeah, I stare immediately at Gideon as he says this, making sure that no, twitch movements are made.
No,
We're changing the subject. I look at Septum and like, were you able to deactivate all of the targeting beacons throughout the encampments?
To my knowledge, the Auspex led me to every single one of these objects, and I was able to deactivate all of them with the help of several squads nearby.
Can't look over. Metal Man was helpful in this instance. We managed to find and locate, we think, all of them. God knows what they were for, though. We've had further Auspex scans from orbit, and they don't seem to have any conventional weapons capable of firing with any large effect over a great distance.
Deltrin will be
Except for those mortar things that were coming through the ground.
They were
which
light arms fire.
Yes, but they may have something bigger. That's where my thoughts are on this, of what those things were probably targeting for.
My men have said
but hopefully we won't find out.
They did have the impressive amount of AA fire that was able to take out our capital ships. They may have something else. Who knows?
Didn't take out a capital ship, it took out one of our strike cruisers.
In that case, I retract my previous statement.
He kind of regains control. He seems to have regained control somewhat, and the cocky and brash soldier stands before you once more and he goes, right, well, when Tyvir is awake, he leaves. I'm going to leave Skull here overnight so that they can leave together on this mission. He knows how to get in contact with us. We launch as soon as we get the go-ahead. Is this understood? I do not want hesitation. I don't want to see my men running into this battle unsupported. Any Marine who dies who doesn't need to, I'm going to take out on you.
I want to quickly shoot a look at Septum followed by Igorek as like a general, should we tell him about our part of the operation?
2 seconds as you do that.
He is by himself, right?
He's got Skull with him.
Skull's with him, yeah, but Skull knows what.
Khan sees this glance and
my eyes are still trained on Gideon.
Yeah, it's Arik.
Yeah.
Have you got something to say?
Actually, I don't actually know the plan, so.
Have you got something to say, acting captain?
I look to the acting captain.
You see him grip the chain axe tighter as the fury kind of still controlled, no shaking, but it comes back, and his eyes seem to be boring into yours.
Yeah, I'll mute his gaze, and I'll straight up ask him, what's your entry point to the city?
Front gates. If Skull and Tyvir can do their job, they'll be wide open and undefended. We run through, we kill everything we find, we torch this city to the absolute ground.
On foot or armoured?
Pardon?
On foot or armoured?
Attacking the city armoured would be a fool's errand.
As the metal man says, we go in on foot. Anyway, seeing the sight of the Astarte should put enough fear into the backs of these men that they turn tail and flee, and it's always easier to gun down a fleeing now than it is one facing you.
I think maybe that's an underestimation on our foe's behalf. They came into our camp knowing how big and fearsome we are, and they died to the last man trying to fill out their objectives.
Yeah, not necessarily.
They have weakened their position even more. Now is even better chance to strike. We will kill everyone. Woman, child, old, elderly, I do not care, they fall.
May I put forward a suggestion? Seeing these so-called mole machines, as I heard the men call them, they may have an underground structure if they have these. So it may not just be the city we are looking to take out.
Auspex scans have already certified that is not the case.
In that case, I retract my previous statements once more.
Wasn't a catacomb system mentioned?
Catacombs were mentioned indeed. A sewer system was linked up, but the catacombs were ancient and dug out, too small to move any large deployment of men through. The reason we're using them for the case of Skull and Tyvir is they're just big enough to fit 2 Astartes through, and they're largely unmonitored and unmaintained, especially while the siege is going on.
I don't think I shared that information with Scar yet. I was going to, and then I got blown up.
Hey, Skull, how about the...
I thought you had mentioned it to him.
No, I was going to go do
Okay.
it, and then we got attacked.
Then I recount
I was
that
finished.
situation.
I was going to finish my conversation with Igorek. Then go to that, and then I got put up.
Then I recount
Can
that
I
statement.
oh
Slight
my
forgetting.
fucking god, Shaun.
Anyway, there he goes. Catacombs weren't mentioned because they're of little point to this event. No large troop movers go through them. You can't house a population or any weapon or power source of any sizable amounts. So, no, there is no underground bunker or the base that we can detect. I'm getting some reservations from you, something you're not happy with, he says with a slightly cruel smile on his face.
To who?
To the three of you.
You know
I
what
don't
this
know the
concerns. You tell him.
Igorek doesn't know the plan.
Okay.
Oh, just lean forward and go.
But,
Just he puts his elbows onto the table at this point, letting go of the chain action, goes. You are going to tell me what the hell you're plotting. I can see it in your eyes.
I can
Doesn't
see
know the
it in
plan.
your smile.
I know
So
that's Igorek. That's why I
got
keep
Shaun.
on. You don't have to keep on saying it.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got it across.
Yep, I know.
Okay. The plan is that Tyvir and Skrull are going to assault the energy generators,
Skull.
shut down the power, and open the gates. Correct?
That is so far the plan. It seems like your sentence implies, in addition to this, that I'm not going to like. Skull
No, I'm just
is
checking you're
glaring
still
at
with
you
me.
with knives in his eyes.
Ooh, shouldn't really keep my knives in your eyes.
Stop.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna say, so that done, that achieved, your warhounds are gonna storm the main gate. Correct?
Correct. With support from the 13th Legion and the Lunar Wolves.
Ah. See, I think this is a mistake.
I'm glad
we
to
should
hear
also
that you
kill
think this is a mistake, acting captain.
My tactical
Acumen.
acumen on the situation. Thank you, brother. Funneling all of the Astartes into one main gate and through one channel of offense seems a bit blunt to me. I think a three-pronged attack would be more efficient in covering as much ground as possible and quickly ending this battle.
We don't need this battle to end quickly. It's a foregone conclusion. This battle is a message. This battle
Message
is
to
that
who?
no matter how big a wall you build, no matter how much you defend your gates, we will run through it, we will burn it, we will break it, and we will break you once we're through. We're not looking for the easy route. The harder it is, the louder the message shouts. We want the streets to run with blood, and we want everybody to know.
You do. We don't.
Well, as I've said before, acting captain, I'm in charge of this expeditionary fleet.
It's really difficult to like not be like, hey Captain, what do you think about this?
There are many ways to get yourself killed. Being a knob to Karn is probably one of
I'm
them.
not being a knob, I'm getting the Captain to be a knob to him.
Do you actually want me to make an appearance?
He can hear you over the comms.
That was over the table.
No OOC.
Oh, I'm
Never
sorry.
mind.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
sorry,
look at
Jacob.
I'm gonna be
What
like,
was
Sorry.
Kyle?
look at Gideon and think, what do you think? Do you think we should infiltrate via Stormbirds after the main attack and after the power's down? Or do you think we should all storm through the gates like all the little
Khan,
soldiers?
as you say this, goes, what the hell did you just say? This is it, isn't it? And Skarl, if looks could kill, you would have been dead on the spot as Skarl glares at you.
I tense and heighten my already formidable stature.
You see Khan now gripping the edge of the table, knuckles white. Almost, you can see the stone that makes the structure almost cracking underneath his grip. Planning with the 13th Legion behind my back, You were going to send my men in through that gate without support.
Didn't say that.
You were going to drop Stormbirds into the city. Who was going through the gate?
You guys, Stormbirds have wings. They also have methods of ground support.
Not if you're going into the centre of the city. We have to breach through the gates first. He looks like he's about to swing his axe at you, but more than anything else, more concerned, you see almost resignation on his face. As if you forced his hand. We'll continue this discussion another time. He grabs his axe and stalks out. Skarl is left behind as he just storms on out. And as he does so, Skarl turns to you, Arik, and goes, "You absolute moron!"
Glad not the only one
When
thinking
we
that right
discussed this plan, our first point was to not inform Khan. He did not want to do the massacre.
now. Skal never told anyone
Skarl
besides.
only told Tyvir.
Skarl only told the Tyvir, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was a
He's
bit
still calling
concerned
you a
that you were-
moron. That's still
I was a bit concerned you were going down that line, but I didn't want to interrupt.
Skarl still called you a moron. We didn't... He just grips his head in his hands.
Arik, it is not my
I should have said
place
something. I should have
to
said
hugely
something.
question my acting command. However, I do not agree with anything that you just did.
You know, he breathes out and goes, it's not his... God damn it. He moves forward and goes, the discussion we were having with our esteemed cousin from the 8th Legion is that Khan does not want a massacre. He doesn't want... Sorry.
I can still hear this, right?
Yes.
Right. When he says that, I stand up and I immediately walk out and back towards the command
Okay,
centre.
that will take a few moments.
Yeah.
He goes, he did not want a massacre. He wanted a peaceful solution without him but he couldn't back down. As a representative of the Warhounds, we have a reputation to maintain. One of brutality, one of fear. One where our foes constantly underestimate us.
Essentially,
You're
Arik,
undermining
to
your
make
command.
this. Essentially, Arik, to make this simple for you, Karn needed to have plausible deniability. You just ruined that.
At this point, the thumping gets louder, and Skarl turns around and reaches for his weapon, almost expecting strikes to come
Nope.
from underground.
Skal, it's fine.
He looks
I
around
shout
warily.
as loud as my mechanically augmented voice can.
You know that Karn's still close enough to probably hear you.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
He's like outside.
Yeah. He wants plausible deniability?
Jesus.
It
Will you
works.
stop wrecking buildings?
I'm not wrecking a building.
Hugh, his horns yell, as every Vox, all the power goes to his Vox tune, and a huge roar of Khan echoes through the encampment. And Skarl turns to the rest of the you three in just shock. Like,
Excuse me, Skal, I need to deal with something. And I run out of fucking
as you
command
run
tent.
out, you see Khan looking more confused than anything else as he turns towards the source of the noise, chain axe already at the ready.
Khan, we can explain.
Joy.
And as he does so, the lumbering form of the Contemptor Dreadnought staggers into view. And
I
Khan just
go
goes,
to the
the
door and-
hell is that?
This is,
I walk
this is
to the door, and
Delphin's
if any
Igorek.
of the other ones I make
Okay.
a motion for them to come with.
Okay, everyone kind of... a lot of people talking at once there, slightly.
Mhm.
Igorek,
I don't know if
what would
Gideon
you say?
Skull left. Did Gideon Skull go outside already, or are they
No.
just kind of like,
They
what the fuck
said-
is going on?
Yeah, there the fuck is going on inside the encampment.
Alright, so I'm gonna, make my way towards the door and kind of just, wave and be like, come on, you guys can see for yourself what's going on. It's probably easier than trying to describe it.
Okay, they follow you out. Ronan.
I was about to say something to Karn, and then I was said silence to. And Septum does as he told.
That's fine. Arik. Are you going to go on out to watch Khan probably maybe get squished?
Oh, I'll go see what the fuck's gonna unfold as this meeting of two idiots.
Weep inside your helmet.
Khan, is it Arik? You
Isn't
head
that,
on
kind of
outside.
isn't that kind of the pot calling the kettle black there?
Come on, guys. Khan, turns and sees the Dreadnought before him. He just looks at the hell? And then his eyes narrow and he goes, Darnik?
Aye, you're not as good as killing things as you might think,
Oh my god.
cousin.
He then
But
starts
that
to
was
laugh. Just starts
laughing.
to laugh, almost uproariously.
Okay. I stay completely still, and I look at him and I say, Khan, my company will have nothing to do with the slaughter that you are planning. We are returning to the Shadow of Luna. If worse things come to pass, we will bombard this city from orbit and give these people a merciful death compared to what you plan to do to them.
Septum visibly
Call
goes,
us cowards if you will, but that is my order for my brothers and I. Obviously, I cannot speak for our fellow from the 8th or for the irony of me calling someone a metal man sinks in before I say that, and I say, before Septum, I obviously can't speak for Septum either, but the Lunar Wolves are going back to our ship until the end of this monstrosity of a campaign.
Let me get this right. Captain Darnik, you are going to fire upon your cousins. You would order an orbital bombardment on your own brethren. Let me get this so the rest of my legion can hear you say those words. Let's show us what honour from the Lunar Wolves means, shall we?
Oh, for the love of Jesus.
Kinslayers?
I take like 2 steps forward towards him.
Doesn't back an inch.
What time? Like, what is it? Still night?
It's late.
It's late, yeah. Darkness.
Okay.
Yeah, dark hands heavy
Okay.
in the air.
Okay. I'm assuming the war room and the command quarters have like floodlights or something on top of them just to kind of illuminate the area. So I kind of like step forward a couple of steps and I just obscure one of the lights from behind me, and the deep red glow of my eyes sort of beams out from just a solid black mass of my enormous form, and I just say, that city will not be put to the axe by you. If Tyvir goes in and creates what wanton slaughter he is wont to do, and I know he wants to do at this point, when that city is vulnerable, it will fall to the reign of death of the wolves, not to the axes of the hounds.
He grins and goes, the wolf challenges the dog to run the pack. He kind of steps up to you, far smaller, but still almost commanding in his presence. He's able to declare almost an authority around him that can match you in a suit of Dreadnought armour. And he just looks up and goes, if I die because you fire upon me, I will die laughing into whatever fucking underworld waits for me. Whether hell waits for murderers like me and you. But I will die knowing that every single one of your brothers, everybody in your legion, will be burned from memory. Every action a dishonour, a disgrace upon your name. So go on. Fire upon my men when we launch. We are but dogs of war. We are used to being kicked. And at that he turns on his heel and walks away.
And I immediately box Arik and
like
say,
him or not, you gotta admit, he's got some ways with words.
he does. I immediately box Arik and say, start shipping the men back up to the ship.
Okay, and we will call a quick 5-minute break there. So, we'll be back shortly after.
Fuck! Ah!
Okay.
The Emperor has a text to
Emperor's
speech.
speech.
No.
Yeah.
Brief
Who watches
advertisement for Emperor's text-to-speech as we just go back into the game. Welcome back from the rather tension and filled engagement between the Warhounds and the Lunar Wolves. Words were said, heated moments. Everyone's an asshole.
Thanks. Me too.
Especially you, Ronan.
Especially Septum.
Yeah, I am more.
Anyway,
Don't
so
worry.
back on track. As of this point, Khan has just started to storm off. His final words to the Dreadnought captain of the 10th Company, lingering in the air still, are rather telling judgment. Almost a gauntlet thrown down.
I'd like to stride up to your resurrected captain, and say, "Sir, don't usually say this, but you do remember the talk we had just before you actually got yourself killed."
I think it's time for the talk.
I sort of look down to him, and then
right back up.
yeah. I have a built-in Voxcaster in my Dreadnought. Is it strong enough to reach the shadow?
Yes.
Okay. I make a Vox link with I can't remember. Does the captain actually have a name?
Descartes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I Vox up to Captain Descartes and I say, Captain Descartes, this is Captain Darnik.
Oh, these are Picard.
No, Ducard.
Oh, Ducard.
Ducard.
Captain Ducard. This is Darnik.
He patches in. Darnik? Sorry,
Yes.
my Lord Darnik.
Yes, Captain. We'll let that the lacking formalities rest for now. However, have the drop pods ready for immediate use. The brothers are coming back up to the ship temporarily.
Understood. Where would you
And I
like
say
to...
that sort of out loud as well as in the box so that Gideon can hear as well.
And I can hear it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He kind of pauses a second and goes, do you have coordinates for where we want to strike?
I'll have those momentarily. So I turn to Igorek and I say, give me a minute to think about what... Can I get a map of the city again?
Yep, I'll just drop us across to the map of the city.
Oh.
Well, the city centre. I couldn't... to draw an entire city onto a map would...
Yeah.
Hit a...
Are you planning, Captain?
He hasn't planned
Okay.
anything in years.
Can you see it?
One sec. Yeah, I've got it. Just need to find the appropriate zoom where I can see enough of it. Okay.
Yeah, my machine. Why are you going to do that?
First,
In terms of like actual dimensional scale, how big is the residential district?
Sorry, what was that, sorry, mate?
I'm saying in terms of like actual sort of dimensional scale, like we're talking miles, or how big is the residential district?
The residential district, if we're going to, I think it's roughly outlined with the drawing tool. No, that was changed. That's about like 2 miles by 2 miles wide and about 1.5 miles tall.
And remind me, I've got, before the attack, I had about 3,000 lunar wolves, correct?
Yep. Just so you know, drop pods are indiscriminate and will likely kill hundreds and if not thousands of civilians.
But they're fast. And they leave an impression. Which is honestly at this point is half the job.
Steel Rain!
Yes. How accurate... Do we have deep striking capabilities yet?
Teleportation? Nope.
Yeah. Okay,
That'd be
cool.
a bad idea at this point.
Okay, in that case, I'll probably just sort of litter coordinates around for the residential district, trying to aim for the outskirts.
He kind of, the captain just comes back onto the box and goes, "My lord, are you sure that's where you wish to target? Civilian casualties will be great, and if there's even slight drift, it's entirely possible we could hit the Warhound host if we fire at the wrong time. It's a rather precise shot to make, and I'm sure we're up for it, but there are a number of factors we can't take into account."
If we were to target into the military district and the other district, and then the military district and the factory district, and then converged, is that safer for Not
If you
hitting
would, yeah,
Warhammer.
if you target the military district, which is further away from the front gates of the main gates of the city, then yeah, you could land. But then there's also that's the military district. There will also be a huge armed presence there.
You wanted to filter them to there. The Warhounds.
Yeah.
If you target the military district, then they won't bother assaulting the military district. They'll assault the other places.
Yeah, to the factory district first.
Or the residential.
Yeah,
They'll just split into the residential district.
Yeah. Just don't listen to me, Colonel. Shit. We'll be sparing many more if we land in the
I
residential.
know, it's just, it is the if I happen to hit a Warhound. A single Warhound.
Sometimes you gotta leave it up to chance.
Have you seen my fucking rolls sometimes?
It
It's
wouldn't
not
be
you
you
rolling.
rolling. Have you seen my rolls?
Yes, I'm... Oh, God.
Yeah,
Okay.
hitting me in the face with a fucking artillery.
I mean, at this point, I kind of turn to the command squad and I say, I'm open to any last minute suggestions before I confirm the order.
What is your definition of an orbital strike?
I said Rain of Death, I didn't say Orbital Strike.
My helmet's on, so you don't see the eyes being narrowed at you. But then there's a slight nod of understanding, and I turned back to look at where Karn was walked off to.
I look at Septum and I say, Septum, I chose my words with incredible precision. Let Karn think whatever I meant. I hit Igorek with the siege sledge. No, I don't. That's what I say to him. Tap.
Alright, back on track, guys. Come on, back on track.
Sorry. I said it to Septum.
Yes.
Let Karn think whatever I meant in his own mind. I know what's going to happen. Mostly. I'm not bombarding.
What was that you just said at the end of
Nothing.
that?
No, there was real static.
Okay.
So I say,
Alright.
unless you have a pertinent point to make regarding the coordinates for the drop pod launch, for the moment, please be silent. Igorek?
You don't hold any grudges over what Karn did.
I do, but that's not the point.
Don't fight with him again.
I'll try not to. Arik, you have a question.
How fast can we mobilize the entire Legion, get it back to the Shadow of Luna, and
The entire
redeploy?
company, we can get up there in a couple of hours.
They want to attack tomorrow, don't they?
Yeah. They want to
The attack
attack
is-
after Tyvir has gone in, which will be
And
tomorrow.
and that operation's still, in his mind, happening.
Yep.
Why don't we just do it as soon as we can? Then the Warhounds won't be a casualty if we...
Because I'm 98% certain in my mind, and you know how great that place is. Do you remember how the defense platforms that we first attacked when we came here had shielding?
Mm. Still needs to be taken
Why
out.
would the capital not?
Yeah.
That's why we need Tyvir to go in and disable the power, and then just fucking wreak havoc. Which he's going to do anyway.
Does it need to be Tyvir?
Yes.
Yes. It needs to be... Really, it needs to be either Tyvir or Septum. And
Excuse me,
No.
sir?
it has to be Tyvir. I
I
can
don't
trust
see how
Tyvir to do it. Well, because he's
What?
the only one here, apart from you and, the World Eaters and the Smurfs, who aren't Lunar Wolves. We need Lunar Wolves to look a little bit better here. So, I'm letting you... Well, I'm not letting you loose. I'm kicking you in and saying, have fun. Go nuts.
It's my
what do you
plan!
want?
What are you talking about?
It was
Just we're going underground
And
instead
we
of
have now learned that
down.
it is truly possible for a human to make noises that only dogs can hear.
Deldrin
Yeah,
battle screeches.
I didn't actually catch that. It was,
Anyway, rather than arguing over whose idea it is, please carry on. with
So
your-
yes, since nobody seems to have any pertinent suggestions of those who are currently conscious, in all fairness, Daevos, I know you're not speaking because you're unconscious. Twitch, if you think this is a bad idea.
I hit him with a melt the bomb.
That's one hell of a twitch.
Okay.
You need spasm. Anyway, so
Yeah. So I say, yeah, we need to disperse our men within the residential district.
I assume I'd be going into orbit with you then, sir.
That's your choice, cousin. I can't command you to do anything.
I'll follow you.
Thank you for the, I think, vote of confidence? Or is it last
It went
option?
both ways. Just take it how you want it, sir.
You receive,
Take it like a bitch.
Darnik, your vox crackles on, and Ducard comes back on the channel. My lord, we have messages of the approaching Custodes fleet.
Do we have the time of arrival?
3 days, give or take, warp vagaries. You very much noticed the fact that he said fleet.
Then we had best act fast.
Mm.
Arik, get the men back into orbit.
I start putting that
Igorek?
in motion.
Get me 2 data slates and 2 the servitor. And someone to write for me. I hold up both my arms with no actual digits.
Just
Like, I can't really do it anymore.
Okay.
Everything I touch explodes.
So, Arik, do you get going on organising your forces into retreating back into the store? So yeah, so you begin the operation. You know, sending out orders, sergeants quickly barking and snapping orders to one another as men file into their stormbirds, taking as much material with them as possible. Unfortunately for you, the speed at which you wish this done by means that a lot of material will have to be either left behind or in the care of the Imperial Army and the 13th Legion. It's unlikely the Warhounds give a shit. As this is being done, while Daevos and Tyvir are unconscious, he starts to load them onto gurneys, and servitors wheel them on board to the Stormbird, which whilst
I'm leaving Tyvir.
you wheel Daevos onto a gurney and into the Stormbird, which while still looks quite battle-scarred from the damage dealt by Daevos himself, seems to be in perfectly fit state of repair. Dultrian, as you're all in this, turns to you, Arik, and goes, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Say yes, damn it.
Ask him what it is.
What is your question, Deltrin?
Thank you. My question regards to this: am I to stay behind and oversee the recovery of cousin Tyvir of the 8th Legion, or am I to oversee the recovery and return to you on the Shadow of Luna of Brother Daevos of the 10th Company?
Is Arik's Vox still turned on? Because he's a fool and he
No,
fucked it off.
most likely he would have disabled it, otherwise you'd have been driven insane by the constant communism.
Too late!
I love the idea of a Dreadnought doing that.
Sorry.
But wait, yeah, so Deltrin waits looking at you expectantly.
I think we need to make sure Tyvir is as fit and ready for his mission as possible.
Understood.
By will, make sure he's up and ready.
Okay, understood. And he gives orders to a number of apprentices of his, as well as servitors, who go after Daevos and attend to his recovery while he goes back inside to deal with Tyvir's missing limb. You hear the sound of welders and various tools coming from this chamber. Okie dokie. Igorek, do you go get the servitor 2 data slates and a writer for him?
To what? To who to what?
The 2 data slates, the servitor and the man to write for your captain?
He starts deciding.
Sure.
Okay, very quickly, you pretty much...
I obviously wasn't paying attention.
You turn to the nearest person, and soon you return to the Dreadnought with the 2 data slates, a servitor and what looks like a chapter serf of some kind, looking at you expectantly, almost reverentially. Darnik.
Oh yeah, those were.
Thank you, Brother Apothecary.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, on the first slate, write, in these exact words, cry havoc.
God!
I swear to bloody God.
Cry havoc! And then Dreadnought sort of sees
Cry havoc and blah 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 blah. Got it.
And the second one?
Sod's Law is a wonderful, wonderful being.
Oh my god.
So professional, aren't we?
Well, we're technically professional.
Technically.
Yeah.
turn off the damn phone. You don't answer it anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway, so I say, write down these exact words. Cry havoc and let loose the dogs of ... Ignore that part. Just cause mayhem. Love Darnik. Not love, just Darnik. And I say,
why people
what are
don't
you
have
doing?
faith in you, Captain?
make sure that gets the title. And then I say, the other one. Now I need you to make this look like a requisition form. And I don't speak requisition.
You do actually,
need you-
considering that Deltrian read out over 5,000 of them to you while you were
Yes, you
entombed
do.
in
Alright, well in that
the
case I'll say,
sarcophagi.
okay. Large chunk of numbers that basically make it look like an order form. Wait, hang on, isn't Gideon stood right there?
No, Gideon's gone to do his own men. I assumed you didn't want to start
Okay.
telling him about these secret plans while Gideon was around.
Okay, anyway, so I say, right. I'm not going to say it in repetition because I'm not that clever. Basically, it's going to be a one that's for Gideon or whoever's in charge. I don't actually know at this point because I didn't even know Gideon was in charge. It's going to say, basically, obviously you have to act for yourselves, but if you were to, I don't want to say mirror, but if you were to somehow manage to secure the factory district while we secured the residential district, it would channel the hounds into the military district. So, and again, you know, if anyone in the factory district might be spared, it's much of a bloody death. Up to you, obviously, your company. Sorry Alaric's dead. I told him not to. My bad.
Kiss, kiss.
That's everything.
I want to
translated
read
into-
Hallmark cards written by other Shaun. I would pay good money. Told me he shouldn't have smoked cigarettes. Shame he died of cancer. Kiss, kiss.
Jesus.
You should see some of my birthday cards. They're brutal. And then I say, give that to the servitor. Give him a box. Put the data slate in the box, and then make that servitor give it to the most important-looking person in the 13th Legion camp.
The chap
Make sure it's a nice box.
the chapter serf looks at you, somewhat still in shock at listening to what is apparently a 3-4 meter tall metal robot shout at him, and also because he just takes the data slates, turns to Igorek, bows, my lord,
Yeah.
my lord. He says, bowing to the Dreadnought, and then slowly
Literally,
backs
he
away.
just kind of like lifts his hands when he looks at him. Like,
And
I
as
don't know.
when he gets about 10 feet away and turns around, he just starts running away.
When he's gone, I sort of turn to who is ever left of the command squad. I suspect Arik is probably off doing
Yep.
actual work
It
for a
would be
change.
Septum and Igorek.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Septum for my Auspex back before we go any farther.
Septum
That's it.
reluctantly lets you have your aspect back.
And then I need to go see a man about a shield.
Before
So
that,
that
oh sorry.
Darnik.
I'll say, brothers, while the company secures the residential district, we have another duty we will most likely need to perform. We will have to corral Tyvir.
What?
He won't willingly stop.
He'll be in the upper echelons. He'll be dealing with the world's government. It's not going to be very... well. There's not much we can do to stop him.
Let me express this in a way you might understand, Septum.
Go on.
He will probably not be in there for long. He will butcher them and then move outside to find more stuff to burn.
Yes, and if he's in the government palace, he will find the military district and the upper district. And if
Very
not,
possible.
then he's going to come to find us. And we're going to have to stop him somehow.
stop him then.
Exactly. We just need to be able to find him. So, I need to go and see a man, or what's left of one, I'm not really sure, about some
And
kind of
myself.
craft. Not you, different one. And I turn to will the quartermaster have already logged onto a Stormbird somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then. I'll make do with what he's already got. I turn to go see Deltrin.
Okay, you stomp over to the Deltrian's quarters, and inside you see him working busily on Tyvir's leg. How may I help you, Contemptor Dreadnought Patton, brother captain of the 10th of the Lunar Wolves Legion 10th Company?
Jesus.
Do you have a moment to spare?
I have many moments to spare.
Excellent.
False assumption. This is not one of those moments.
Less than excellent. However, we can't really rearrange the time.
Understood.
I don't. Oh, I expect this to come back there. I say, Deltrian, is there a way that we could keep track of Tyvir without him knowing that we're doing it?
This is gonna go real well.
He mulls over. Indeed.
Second question. Do we have this available to us at the present?
Indeed.
Third question. Are you willing to do this without Tyvir's obvious knowledge? Because otherwise he would know we're doing it. I know he is your friend. I would not want to put you in a uncomfortable position.
You make a false assumption.
Sure.
I don't think this is how Dreadnoughts are supposed to act. You know, talking about how
It's
they don't want to put
difficult.
someone in an
No,
uncomfortable
Dreadnoughts.
position.
Remember that all Dreadnoughts are new at some point. You just don't tend to see the Dreadnoughts when they're new. Deldrin goes, indeed, one caveat.
Speak.
The SDC positions, the files you find on this planet.
They're yours.
Raise an eyebrow. You agree to something without knowing the ramifications. But he puts his hand out.
Much like my counterpart in the Warhounds. Sometimes plausible deniability isn't plausible deniability. I know that before you correct me. Sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Understood. He winds out McAndride to shake your hand.
I kind of hold them both open. I'm just like, I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm not sure it's possible at this point.
Understood. It is my duty to inform you that you're about to commit a gravest heresy.
Add it to the list at this point, Magos.
A lovely word.
False assumption. You have not yet committed any heresies against the Mechanicum of Mars. This is one of the gravest heresies you can commit against the Mechanicum of Mars.
Is it a heresy against you, Deltrian?
I am one of the members committing in this heresy.
Then, at this point, honestly, I cannot.
Understood. And he goes back to work on Tyvir's leg.
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna have the quartermaster give Tyvir literally anything he wanted at this point, but he's gone, so you have to make do.
Tyvir already picked up all the stuff he really wanted anyway.
Alva exploded.
He didn't have it all on him. Most of it was in his tent
fair.
still.
Fair enough.
He only used a melta bomb.
Okay.
So
Which was for Scarl, so that's fine.
So, you all end up loading onto the Stormbird, the Dreadnought taking
I
up
wanted to see if he'd fixed my shield yet.
No.
God damn it.
He's not exactly had much free time. You are asking him to fix what is essentially a piece of archaeotech.
Last time I let someone borrow my shield.
I really need it. I have a better field rating now.
Yes, but this was when you didn't.
Just saying.
Anyway, yeah. So Deltrian, you see the ruined piece of shield. In fact, you let out a breath of relief. You realise that the Dreadnought hadn't managed to pulverise it in his escape out of the building. But after realising the shield hasn't been worked on yet due to pressing issues such as augmetics and the sudden attack and the utilisation of rather forbidden technology of which no one has inquired into Deltrian about, which I find rather amazing, you all load up onto the Stormbirds. You weren't there, but everyone else was, and no one else has mentioned to him yet that currently, what the fuck did that do on the battlefield? But yeah, you're all loaded onto the Stormbird and you all head up into orbit. Most of the next few hours is spent moving logistics, getting everything sorted, and readying the men for a drop pod assault, prepping the men and getting them loaded into their chambers. By this point, as everything's being unloaded, both Daevos and Tyvir awake. Daevos and the Apothecary are attended to by multiple white armoured soldiers and servitors, and Tyvir administered by the comforting presence of the very inhuman Deltrian.
Comforting. Yes.
This is about what I expected. So
we'll do Tyvir's bit first. You kind of probably wake up and your system clears you of the tranquilizers and other drugs goes through your system. You kind of lean over, and the first thing you notice is you switch your legs over to the side and put them down the ground. Both feet come in contact with the floor.
I just start flexing the foot joint, just looking at it.
It seems to be almost it seems to react perfectly to all your mental directives, and you swing it around. It's a little bit heavier than you'd like, and it will throw you off balance ever so slightly, but nothing that couldn't be compensated for by a skilled warrior. While the quality looks durable and incredibly effective, there is no artwork that's gone into this. It looks like it was done in a rush out of a necessity of materials rather than any love of craft. You see Deltrian looking at it rather disgustedly, but he shrugs and carries on clearing up his chamber.
I stand up and push my back forward, just crack my spine. And I turn to the bench I was resting on. I pull out the melt-a-bomb, my one remaining melt-a-bomb. I place it on the desk. And I turn to Deltrian and catch his attention.
You kind of turn around. Cousin Sergeant Tyvir of the 8th Legion.
I gesture to the melt-a-bomb and say, "Can you rig this with a remote detonator?"
He looks at it. Indeed.
I only know its basic functions.
Yeah, he gets to work on it, and after a few moments comes back with a small little clicking device. Press and hold. The longer you hold, that's how long it will take to detonate.
Okay. I take the bomb back. There's still a giant hole in the wall, right?
Yeah.
So I look at the giant hole. Where's everyone?
He looks around. Oh, you have not yet been informed of the new plan.
No, I was unconscious.
Would you like me to inform you of the new plan?
Oh yeah, right, yeah, sure, yeah, why not?
Very good. Captain Darnik, Brother Captain Darnik of the 10th Company Dunwall's Legion has taken his men up to be deployed via drop pod assault.
If he kills any warhounds. Fine.
Words were
We're gonna
already
go
said,
finish
I
preparing.
overheard them. Khan promised retribution and bloody vengeance should any of his men die, and if he were to die too, then the Custodes would be informed of their actions.
And whose bright idea was it to tell Karn?
I am currently unknown. It is currently unknown to me. I was not there at the meeting. I was busy attending you and Brother Daevos.
Idiot. Fine. Thanks for the leg. And as I say that, I just start walking out.
It should be noted that Brother Captain Darnik of the Lunar's Legion 10th Company wishes for you to continue on with your mission alongside Skal. I would also like to inform you that your mission should be proceeded in a hurry, as further information has reached my ears that the Custodes are arriving in the next few days with a fleet of 42 vessels.
As I push the door open and he says, I just turn my head back, not fully looking at him, just say, Custodes can bite me. And
It
I
is
walk
not the
out.
Custodes that are going to bite you, it is the Imperial Heralds who are turning up in full
Sorry,
Legion
bonk.
force. You hear the last echoes of that kind of coming through.
Yeah, I head out and I want to go... First, I want to go raid what's left of the supplies, because they wouldn't be able to get everything off,
No.
would they? Yeah. Oh, priorities probably would have been power armor and stuff, so I'm going to see if they left behind any replacement carapace armor I can use to cover my legs.
Yeah,
my leg.
carapace armor, like there are bits and pieces of work that stuff that's not been refitted or maintenance work, and a few suits were left behind to be picked up at later dates, which you can trifle through.
Yeah, I just fit another set on my leg because it got exploded before. If they happen to have another melter bomb lying around.
They don't. Melter bombs are still quite valuable devices in that regards.
Okay. And I want to go find Scarl, so I head to the Warhound camp.
Yeah, well, as you walk out and start to walk into the Warhound camp, you already see Warhounds moving in to the camp, seemingly claiming the Lunar Wolf buildings as their own. Some of them leaving back with leftover gear, which they're taking back to their own encampment, an act you know is incredibly prohibited amongst the legions, of which they don't seem to care.
As I'm walking past, is there any Warhound going near my tent?
No, the Warhounds seem to be giving your tent a wide berth.
Damn. Then I head to their tank, to their camp.
Yeah, as you head further in, one of the Warhounds sees you and hails, "Cousin, Scarl's looking for you, and Khan."
Well, I'm looking for them, so it all works out quite nicely, don't you think?
They're at the ring. You know how to get there.
I just walk on by. I don't talk to them anymore.
You actually don't know the way there, but it becomes very apparent when you hear the sounds of metal slamming into bone and other bits of metal, and the roars of Warhounds chanting. And you soon find the ring, where again a huge circle of Warhounds stands in attendance, all shirtless, weapons at the ready. I've just realised that Daevos had disconnected.
Yeah.
And in the middle, you see two Warhounds, one wielding a vast flail, seemingly forged from a black metal, swinging it round expertly, using it as momentum to spin him round in pirouettes, while another one, an Apothecary, walks back and forth, swaying, avoiding hits, and occasionally, after a hit across his face, slams teeth out, spitting blood into the eyes of his opponent. As you filter all this information in a few seconds, you suddenly spot Khan and Scarl in deep discussion in the back, not really paying much attention to the fight.
Are they like across the arena from me?
Yeah, though you can walk around it. It's not the arena.
Oh, I'm just gonna stand there and just stare at them until I can catch their attention.
Yeah, you keep on staring, and soon Scarl looks up, and then
when he sees me, I just pull my head back like this and walk out of the crowd.
Okay. Scarl turns to Khan as you turn away, and as you start to walk away and find a secluded spot, Khan and Scarl soon come up to you. Cousin?
Who's the idiot who told you the plan?
Equerry.
Fine. Scarl, I had a melter bomb for you, but I look at the ruin that is the rest of my carapace armor.
Khan raises his eyebrow a little bit. Too slow.
Oh, I had to use it.
He grins. I'm sure we can outfit our companion in what he needs.
I pull like the data slate that the Imperial General gave me, and I just sorry. I show him the catacombs and say, I found an ingress point.
Yeah, Khan takes down a look and goes, "This could work. This could work well, actually. It's unstable, though. You'd have to be very careful."
I already requisitioned a sapper team to go in and clear it out for us, which I'm going to go check on now.
Understood. Actually, that's a good point. Since your friends in the Wolves seem to have abandoned us on this planet.
Darnik's trying to salvage what mess was left behind.
I give the man credit. I'm amazed he survived, to be honest. Most people without a head die after a few minutes, but I suppose if there's nothing important up there, survival might be a bit longer. Anyway.
I have a feeling he has only one life left.
He laughs slightly at that and goes, "Well, go see on your sapper team. Stay out of what's about to come. Have you been informed of what the Custodes are sending our way?"
Deltrin mentioned the heralds.
Full legion.
No, all of them? I wasn't listening.
Yes, their expeditionary forces have all been called back from their various requisition points. The Custodes are here. They're either here to make a point, and one we're not going to forget, or they're here to make sure that we're never spoken of again.
And they bring the zealous bastards. Fitting.
To be fair, I'm going to throw this out there right now. I hate them more than I hate anyone else on this planet. Fanatical bastards, the lot of them. You think we're brutal? He thinks we're brutal. Wait till he sees what they do when they find this planet. Anyway.
I kind of just stare off in the distance. He's probably noticed at this point that my pale face is like, got like deep, heavy bags under my eyes and stuff.
He's not
unusual for a space marine.
He's not going to say anything though in this regards. But, he is staring intently. Goes, cousin.
We should move out at night as we planned, but the demobilization of the Lunar Wolves, for what it appears to be anyway, that'll embolden the local forces. So
it will. And that might suit us better, though. Drop pod assault. Is he actually?
That's their way. Is there any way that the Lunar Wolves can draw out a contingent of their forces out of the city if they feel emboldened? It might help when we in Scarlet infiltrate. I point at the map again. Say my ingress point will be in the military district itself. So
he thinks for a moment and goes, "We can start to move forward. Some of the artillery platforms the Imperial Army have. In fact, hell, we can send a full-on assault by the Imperial Army. God cares if any of them die."
There is no God, remember? Do what you can.
The Imperial Heralds will argue differently with that. You heard one of their sermons yet?
They speak of the Emperor like a god.
That'll end very well, I can imagine. But that's beside the point. We're not here to talk about the failings of our cousins, even though that's exactly why
we're here to talk about the failings of our other cousins. Look at the sky.
Anyway, we can launch an Imperial Army assault on the gates, draw out as much of their attention as possible, maybe even kill a few of their important locations, take them out, destroy them. That should give you two enough cover to sneak in and take out whatever the hell you need to take out. Scarl's not going to accompany you, he's not here as your shadow, he's going to split off as soon as he can.
We already discussed that. Scarl, I don't know if I mentioned it, but hitting the civilian generator in the factory district seems like a good idea. So more chaos.
Scarl nods. Understood. Khan slaps you on the shoulder and it kind of jolts you back into wakefulness. Don't lose focus now, Tyvir.
Oh no. I've never been more clear on my purpose.
Good. Well, I have matters to attend to. Politics. He spits on the ground, and I've got to see if those 13th Legion bastards are going to be aiding in our assault. I swear to God, if I only see grey when we march into battle, the heads are going to roll.
After Darnik's display, I think Arik 2.0 might go along with it. Just to see what happens.
Then they'll have to be looking for a third, won't they? Anyway.
Scarl, we have more to discuss. Karen, go about your business.
Khan nods.
I hold an arm.
He kind of, as he stops his turning, he reaches back and clasps it firmly and goes, nods. Try not to die out there, bastard.
I've already died once, and I walk away.
Okay, Daevos, you have now awoken aboard the Shadow of Luna. No Deltrin in sight, but you do have a number of apothecaries and servitors attending you. And as you kind of like, you sit up, your head's killing you. But as you blink, suddenly, your bright light filters through the left eye, which has been black for the last few hours. And as you kind of blare out, you see once again, you have full range of vision.
Daevos kind of looks around for a moment. See anything in particular?
One thing you notice first off when you do your eye can move independently of your other one. At first it throws you ever so slightly, but you soon master the knack of it, and it's disorientating, in fact nauseating in some cases, but you soon figure it out. But looking around the Apothecary, you see nothing of much interest other than the Legion Apothecaries have all been moved up. In fact, you soon very quickly realise you're aboard the Shadow of Luna.
Yeah. Somewhat curious, but nonetheless, Daevos looks around, finds something shiny, and just holds it up. Takes a little look at the workmanship.
You lift it up and goes, what you see in your eye is no beauty, it's not going to be any artisan. Whoever's repeatedly roll 20 messaging, please stop. It's beeping consistently. Or Skyping. Yeah, it's functional more than anything else. A glowing red light emanates from what looks like almost lacing metal that bridges the entirety of your outer eye. And inside you see the small orb rotating constantly, almost gyroscopic in nature.
Oh. Seeing as there's no one else talking to here, Daevos is going to head to the bridge. Well, no, he's no one of importance. Daevos is going to head to the bridge.
Hold on to
just like, right.
I'm sure you will. I apologise for that. My phone rang. Anyway, yeah, so, the Apothecary does turn to you as you wake up and goes, Brother Daevos, is everything alright?
Let's go and find out, and I walk up ahead of the bridge.
Yeah, as you stand up, your head does, you kind of almost stumble forward. The Apothecary steadies you and goes, be careful, you've just come out of major surgery, and even our physiology isn't adapted for this kind of change.
Well, I'll be fine.
Okay, he releases you and steps back and goes, bid you a good day, brother.
I'll see about that.
Okay, so you make your way to the bridge, winding through the paths and corridors of the structure, and I suppose I should move over to the Shadow of Luna map for the time being. Dooby-dooby-doo. There we go. At some point it will definitely change. There we go.
I can tell it's in UI because everything is out of focus still. Oh, there we go.
Okay. And you make your way over to the bridge, winding through the corridors and tunnels, through the various rooms, and along your way you see, large and servitors moving infrastructure places, attend to the various minutiae of mobilising such a vast vessel into position above a planet. In the centre you of course see the dominating figure of Captain Darnik, accompanied most likely by Igorek, Septum, and Arik.
Yes.
So, Daevos walks up behind Darnik and just kind of taps on his back with his hand.
Darnik, you both hear and feel
as if he were literally a door being knocked on.
I very slowly and carefully turn around, being careful not to hit the railing, anybody else, the captain, the chair, anything fragile. A window.
You could have just ended. You could have just ended with the fragile. Relative to you, everything is.
Crack.
Okay, yeah.
Captain, you've destroyed my leg.
Again.
Which one?
Anyway, so yeah, you turn and you see the unarmored Daevos.
The silent killer awakens.
Nobody calls me that.
You don't talk much.
Anyway, why are we here? Why are we on the ship? Bring me up to date.
How much detail do you want?
As much as I need to know.
We're going to drop out on the city and we're going to corral Tyvir after he's set it on fire. The rest of the company is going to deploy to the residential district and save as many lives as possible.
Cool. Alright.
The
Nothing
couch
else
piece
you're
of once
hiding
again.
from me.
Sorry. My lord, I must once more object. You do realise you'll be inflicting massive civilian casualties by launching a drop pod assault.
We'll be doing less than the hounds.
He just sighs and just goes.
Captain, if you can suggest an alternative, I am willing to listen.
Captain, how much of the city do you think will be destroyed in our drop pod assault?
Depends on how astray we go. If everything's on target, only the residential district. So far,
Given our previous drop poddings, give your best estimate.
he thinks, mulls it over, and he goes, you could be looking at a 60 to 70% casualty rate amongst civilian populations.
I look back to Darnik and say, I know the hounds are thorough, but if we kill that many, they won't have to be.
My lord, you need to understand you're launching nigh on 300 or more drop pods. These things travel at great speeds, and to stop they have to fire rockets onto the ground below them. Any structure, any individual caught beneath that will be flattened. They're not even accurate, we've no idea where they might go. And not only that, you'll cause a panic. The civilians will be fleeing. What are you going to do when the civilians try to leave the residential district? We have a transhuman army stepping out of meteors and walking amongst them after what they've heard in propaganda. They're going to go every direction but the way we are. You're going to gun them down then? The captain seems to be gaining some bravery with every word he says. Let's face it, we'll end up doing the massacre the Warhounds wanted to do in the first place, except for we'll get the blame.
Captain, your
Yes.
sentiment is appreciated. I'm sure Darnik now realises if he does want to reduce civilian casualties, this is the plan. But if he's on the hound side, which experience would tell me otherwise, as one of your close members of your squad, I would advise against this action. But
Open to
you're in
alternatives.
charge, so
The rest of the command squad is as characteristically silent as ever.
Do you know what I think we should do, my lord? If you would
Please
take the advice
inform
of
me,
mortal.
Captain Ducard.
We hold back.
And let the Warhounds go in without support.
Septum, silence. Speak.
The custodes will be arriving in soon enough if we send them an astropathic message as of once claiming that the Warhounds have gone out of control. You're unwilling to launch yourself into the fray for fear of spilling a brother's blood and act unimaginable, I'm sure. Even that seems to be loaded with a sense of sarcasm.
I turn this when he says that. I do turn to face him instead of looking
Okay,
at
his
Daevos
face goes
logos.
white as a sheet when you do that. He goes, my apologies, my lord, I spoke out of turn, but still. Why
Continue.
get caught up in something we can't control?
Daevos.
well, I think I expressed actually similar sentiments to our captain over here before the fight broke out. But personally, I agree. We don't want to join in because they're conducting warfare in a erratic way. It's their fault if they go in. We don't have to help them. And I kind of I want to whisper this to him, but I realize I can't. So I'll say, and in case you haven't been informed, there are some other plans in regard to the assault which have already been arranged, which may be making this assault more difficult than the house had already expected. Truth is, they're probably not going to fare too well.
There is also for the safety of the 13th Legion brothers to consider.
As you say this, you see the eyes of the captain widen. And while this is happening, we're going to scoot down to Tyvir and Skal, who are about to make their entry into the city.
No one ever asked Tyvir's opinion.
That's because everyone's terrified of you, and also your opinion is kill things. That's what everyone is
Yeah,
saying.
you're-
You're unconscious.
Your opinion is like devalidated by the fact that, you know, the things
I've
you
done
do
nothing wrong.
assume-
When did I ever do anything?
Technically,
All I've ever done is be effective.
Yeah, technically he hasn't done anything.
Hitler was effective, and this is being streamed, so we're going to move swiftly off that
Jesus.
topic.
Okay.
He was
Yeah,
wrong.
that's right,
I am
it
not
was meant.
endorsing anything he did, as my
Hey,
culture
no,
was
no.
affected by it, but
I endorse
He
his
was-
economic policies.
he was thorough. Anyway,
Jesus Christ! Guys, Warhammer 40k.
yes,
It wasn't
which is
effective when it came to
essentially
the Russian front, that's all I'm saying.
space
Well,
fascism.
it's
So,
Moving on.
anyway, so Tyvir and Skull have already started to equip themselves up and get
Well,
ready.
I wanted to go check on the Sapper squad to see if they did the job. So I can find the Imperial forces.
You find the Imperial Army forces, and rather than head down to the tunnel yourself, you do just find one of the overseers at hand. And as you pull him aside, he salutes smartly at you. And after you inquire into the state of the tunnels, you discover that they have been completed.
Good. I'll just walk away.
Okay. Yep. Skull's waiting for you like a few feet away. And goes, so I've got no more reason to be dallying around.
Kind of like lean over and scratch at the metal. Just damn leg.
He grins, and the Skull grins at you, and then he pulls up what looks like, part of his shirt, because he's actually not wearing armor at all, but khakis, and pulls it up, and you see what looks like a huge metal-plated side of his body. It takes a while to get used to.
Yeah, it's tough to look at that lucky bastard Karn.
One day he'll get a cut that won't go away.
Is there anything else I planned? Maybe look at my character sheet. I think I wrote it down.
Dance the night away.
She's weak.
Ronan's kidneys are weak.
Oh wow. Low blood rate. I'm not gonna say that.
Really is a low
Gotta
blood.
beat the bigger man.
Let me think. I had something else I wanted to do, and I don't remember what it was.
Very sorry if you can hear an ice cream truck in the background.
Damn it, Ronan.
Also,
Sorry.
he apologizes if he runs off in a minute screaming like he's a girl.
So Tyvir?
I don't apologize for
Oh,
that.
yeah, did Scarl get a melta bomb?
Yes, he seems to be equipped with his own equipment, including a number of pieces you are unfamiliar with, brutal in construction and crude, but knowing the Warhound's probably very effective.
I mean, I have like a million knives strapped on me, so...
Yeah, he seems to have a wrist-mounted cylinder, which goes across the back of his hand.
Yeah. Okay, as we're walking, I want to discuss tactics with him, so...
Okay, so yeah, you start heading towards the sapping encampment, and Skull follows suit.
It's the next day, isn't it? Because I was out for a day, so it's getting
You were
nice
out for
again.
8 hours, and it's now like really early morning.
Mm.
It's still
It'll
dark.
take a while to get there, wouldn't it? Or...
The sapping starts in the Imperial Army camp. They did it far away to avoid being detected. So they've been digging very effectively for a few days now. They'd already started some sapping anyway. It'll take.
So by the time...
Sorry.
my question is, will it be night by the time we arrive in the city?
It will most likely. No, it won't most likely be night, because if you travel at speed through it and really go, you travel as quick as possible, you could probably get there by midday.
Right. As we're walking, I said to Scarla, waiting for nightfall will probably still produce their best results. Do you think we can wait that long?
I don't know, but at the same time, why wait for nightfall when doing it in the daylight will cause so much more panic? I've seen your kind fight. I know you can find shadows in the brightest day. And I honestly don't care who finds me. I'll have their head on a spike by 5 minutes' time.
It's not about being found, it's being found by the number of people. There are bound to be a lot more out there in the day.
Then we just keep on cutting our way through.
As much as we like to pretend we can't kill everyone, few will escape and alert people. We'd have to move much quicker
Well,
today.
I'm heading for the factory district anyway. I can cut my way through there, draw everyone's attention. You can make your way as quiet-like as you want towards your objective.
Fine. Make as much noise as you want.
Fantastic.
The tunnels, what was it? They came out in several places, and one of them was the military district, and one was the factory.
Yeah.
So eventually, yeah, he'll split off to go to the factory district, and then I'll head to the military district. I got flares. I got I've written them down as various flares.
Yeah, very.
I think I just took all the flares that were in the Rites of Battle book. One of them is an invisible flare. It's only visible to auto senses. I hand him a couple, and I say, if you happen to come across some bunkers, mark them with those, so we know where they are. They're probably going to be hidden, so there'll be no point cracking them open while we're trying to get this mission done. But once both breeds of dog descend on this city, it'll be much easier to find.
True enough. Well, as I said, I should be able to cause enough chaos to draw attention from you. You do whatever the hell you need to do. I'm going to put as many bodies on the ground as I possibly can. Any bunkers I see, I'll light them up with a flare. You do the same. Try and minimise at least some casualties amongst my brothers.
Does he have a Voxcaster to contact him, or do our Voxes reach far enough? Or
your Voxes will reach far enough. There have been beacons placed in the siege camp to boost Vox signals.
Okay. I got signal flares, so they're of various color. I forgot to talk to Karn about this, but I'll vox him now, or if I'm still in the camp, I'll go talk to him. I don't know. I'll inform him somehow that depending on how the mission goes, I don't want to vox it in case it produces, in case they're monitoring our communications. But if I send up a white signal flare, it means negotiations have gone wrong, and it means you can attack. I send up a red flare, it means I've secured the objective, secured the surrender. In which case you can take the time by peaceful means.
Understood. Scar, as you reveal to Scar just starts nodding, and you can see him fighting away from mental notes. As I said, as brutal as they might seem, they are still tacticians at heart. He thinks over carefully and just goes, do you know? He leans forward and goes,
sorry, the colours are the exact opposite, because white is surrender and then red is kill everything.
That's it. He just leans forward and just goes, I'm most likely going to make my generator, I'm probably going to set up in a boom. This way he taps the melter bomb. I'm not looking to disable it, I'm looking to bring the whole district down.
Go for it, I don't care.
Good, just to make sure there are no surprises between us.
What else? Tactics.
You can see him getting slightly impatient, and you also see like his fingers ticking.
I thought we were.
Yeah, you are walking, but I would say not with you. He's just getting impatient as the prospect of killing comes up. His fingers start to twitch.
In case it has to be said, if you come across a mixed population of civilians and military, focus on the military first.
You look confused. They're all just targets to me.
No, we're trying to make you guys look less bad.
He laughs and goes, it's far too late for that. Khan's got no choice now but to go through with what we were planned.
Well, I thought if my plan succeeded, just still stay your blades.
We will, but only if your legion follows through. The drop pod assault?
I'm sure once Karn sees the white, he'll vox Darnik with some snide comments about how he was right all along.
Anyway, you soon, as you finish up talking, you finally arrive at the sapping pit, and Scar looks to you and brings up one of his flaying knives and just slices it across his palm before proffering you the knife and the hand. It's an old warhound tradition.
I just got this hand fixed. I say that as I take the knife.
Yeah, you clasp hands and you'll feel the blood mingle before he releases and takes the knife back off you. You know, you already see the cuts sealing across your hand and goes, as I said.
Are the sappers still there? Or?
No, the sappers have moved out.
Okay. Is there any Imperial army nearby?
No, in fact, the Imperial army seems to be mobilising towards a front gate assault.
Okay, just curious. and I head into the
Yeah.
sapping point.
You soon head down into the sapping point, cloying air and glow lamps giving ominous shadows as you start to stalk through the tunnels. For an hour you keep on walking, damp seeping through, dripping down around you as you hear tremors spread. And soon enough you soon reach a point where your helmet sensors beep that this is a breach point between you and the catacombs.
Okay. So just open up the hole.
Yeah.
Is it what's the thickness of the wall? Is it like a couple of meters?
You
Is it like
tap it
is it
and
one
press
brick?
it, and you as you run along it, it's a thick layer of earth, and as you scrape away you come across the wall. A measured push, you already see the bricks forming flecks, and you push harder again and the wall caves in, revealing before you dank stonework, ancient tombs and statues embedded into the walls, and strange symbols carved all along them.
I'll have you know that I speak High Gothic and Low Gothic. I assume it's neither of those.
Nope. Skull looks
Any
somewhat
idea what they mean?
concerned. You have no idea. They make it's an 8. The first one you see is a red 8-pointed star engraved onto one of the statue's forehead. Skull looks uncomfortable and goes, "Fucking things give me the creeps."
Statues or the symbols?
Those things, symbols. You used to see them in the tombs around where I was born. Burned now. Thunder warriors came through, torched the place to the ground. Give those bastards credit, they were fucking thorough about it.
I kind of tilt my head to the side, looking at them. So they're religious symbols. Wasn't so much religion where I was from.
He laughs. Not surprised. Where the sun don't shine, you're a bastard lot indeed.
I look at him. There wasn't a lot. There was some.
Good. Anyway, let's stop dilly-dallying with culture. We're not the heralds. Let's keep on moving.
Take one last look at the symbol on the wall, or the forehead, and then keep on going.
As you walk away, like when you stare into the sun and colours flicker over your eyes, for a few seconds that symbol haunts your vision before once more fading into the background. You see it time and time again though, within other symbols. Purple paint etchings on the wall, green and red. Strange symbols that seem to burn with intensity, cracking the walls around them, but most of them dusty and long with age. And as you do start to creep further into the catacombs, you hear the crackle of your vox as Khan's voice breaks through both of yours network going, "Move! Get the hell out!" before static cuts off. Meanwhile, on the ship, the captain turns to the lot of you and goes, "The 13th Legion have just started bombarding the city."
Well,
Excuse me?
that was not what I was expecting at all.
Had to build up tension and fuck around with it.
Look at Jacob.
Have we got boarding torpedoes?
Oh my, what?
You son of a bitch!
No, no. I learned my lesson the first time. That's a bad idea. Don't do the first thing that springs into your head.
Do you say
Now,
that?
now,
Before you board them, do you want to fire a warning shot?
Their plasma
Just
reactor's a
a
good location for a warning shot.
Yeah.
actually, no, the warp drive is my favourite position
Oh,
for
yeah.
a warning shot myself.
No,
Hang on, let me ask my favourite advisor.
It's drop
Samus?
the wrench so it falls into the.
Samus?
Samus is the
What do
demon.
you think, Samus?
It's the demon the Lunar Wars get haunted by.
Oh god.
Oh,
Please do it. I think it'll be hilarious.
You could hail them.
Yeah, go on, you do that, Arik.
So, yeah, while he's incapacitated, what the fuck's just going on? I want to hail the 13th and be like, look, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
As you say this, a grizzled face, not familiar. This is Praetor Lysander taking command.
Oh, fuck Lysander.
What the fuck is Lysander? Hang on.
Praetor Lysander, head of the 13th Legion. Praetor is the rank governing the entirety of the Legion.
Ours is dead! Well,
As the captain turns around and goes, "Sir, edge of the system, translation has already occurred. We've got 3 vessels of the 13th Legion already coming in."
More?
Arik?
Yeah.
Just...
They've come from the 42nd Expedition, my lord. They were nearby pacifying a local star system of primitives, and they've obviously sent reinforcements over. We had no word of their coming, and they seem to have made all effort here. They're damaged. The Praetor is still on the Vox and goes, "Would you like to further communicate your displeasure, Equerry?"
Arik, not a word. Not a word. Not a sound. Not an utterance.
Are you saying this in character? If it's not in character, you say nothing.
Sorry. Actually, no, I would probably interject and be like, Equerry, allow me.
I think I hear
Praetor,
Captain Darnik.
Yes.
He raises an eyebrow as the image turns around. He goes, "I've heard of your miraculous recovery. I've been aggrieved of your loss. Gideon says good things about you."
There are few who do these days.
Understood. Sorry.
What'd you say?
He said understood.
What would you like us to do, Praetor?
Hold back. We're going to finish bombarding this city, clear the area of hostiles, and God gives a damn if the Warhounds are caught in the blast as well. Honestly, I wouldn't matter if there were more of their dead at the end of the day than the enemy we face now.
Are you aware of the imminent arrival of the Custodes?
I
and
have been
the entire...
Sorry, Karen.
And the entirety of the Imperial Herald Legion. I'm not sure how much up-to-date information you have.
I have been informed of the recent problems that have occurred, and I've been informed of the Custodes' arrival. This is why I'm here, to make sure this ends quickly.
Very well. We shall return to high orbit and await further communication.
Do you have any men still down there?
There are no lunar wolves left on the planet.
Understood. We'll commence
I
the bombardment now. And as you do so...
No!
Deltrian's still down there?
Deltrian's not in the city.
Yeah, but this is a bombardment cannon. These things are not accurate.
I do say there are no lunar wolves left on the planet. And then as soon as I have any inclination that the signal's been cut, whenever you're finished.
Yeah, and you start to see the battle barge rotate as the bombardment cannons slide out of the battle barge's hull and begin firing in serried ranks, smashing through high orbit and into the city below.
Sir,
Very quickly, a Vox incoming hail comes from the Warhound's force.
Don't answer it.
Sir, what have you done?
We haven't done anything.
Deltrian are still on the planet. Never mind the fact the entire Legion of the Warhounds is down there.
Not the entire Legion, mate. 3 companies.
Excuse me, few companies of the Warhounds are still down there. You are condemning a part of a Legion to death, sir. You said this wouldn't get the better of you, and you allowed the Praetor to do what he did. What have you done? You're destroying the ranks between both of the legions. This was supposed to be a crusade! You've turned it into a massacre!
And Ronan and Septum interrupting you, Ducard looks up. The strike cruisers are moving into a intercept course. They're heading towards the 13th Legion battle barge.
Oh shit.
The hail comes through again from the Warhounds Legion.
Answer the hail, sir, and pay for your sins!
Ducard, open the channel and move the Shadow of Luna to intercept. Fire no weapons, but get in the way.
Ducard looks over. Understood, my lord. He turns to the rest of the men. Alright, engine to the forward thrusters. I forgot the word there. And the ship starts to kick off as you start accelerating towards the strike cruisers. Though you know you have no chance of intercepting. Your ship is already in orbit preparing for a drop pod assault. Nor is it a nimble vessel. It's a battleship, a capital vessel. These are the interceptors and wolves of space.
I'm assuming if we were to target their engines, if we did hit them, something more
well,
valuable
it depends
would
on what you
blow.
hit them with. If you did minimal assaults, if you did minimal damage, you could probably cripple them, but that's still crippling, and that would still kill anyone, a lot of people on board. Anyway, the hail comes through. What have you done? You see Khan's face white with fury.
The captain has messed up!
Septum, please.
You traitorous dog! He's yelling at Darnik.
We assumed as much.
Yeah, but he's seeing that you're not doing anything. You fled. Let's look at this, Arik. You fled just in time for the Ultramarines to start a bombardment.
I see that looks fair enough.
And so it looks like you purposely fled without informing the Warhounds of an imminent bombardment coming in.
Or Tyvir.
Or Tyvir.
Am I able to establish a Vox link with Tyvir?
No. Once a bombardment starts, Vox with the ground, unless done through a heavy-duty Vox support system, such as in a base camp, is virtually impossible. This is nuclear warheads they're basically firing. It's basically small atomics.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I will flay you alive, you bastard!
Khan, if you think this was my intention, then what would you have me do against a praetor? And the impending custode, if I were to interject,
And as he looks like he's about to reply, static just fills the room as something strikes Khan's position.
Khan, come in.
Descartes looks over. We can't maintain communication.
That was perfect.
Yeah, we literally had it from Shaun. Literally, he started to crackle really badly. That happened. And then, cut. Diving back down to Tyvir, you're in the catacombs as the very ground around, the roof around you and the ground starts shaking, debris starts to fall. Skarl looks at you. What the fuck is going on? You've broken your mic, Shaun. Obviously, that's what the scattering was.
Oh, sorry.
There
With one motion, I'm just staring at the ceiling. I just reach down, pull out the map of the catacombs I have, and try and find the path to the deepest fucking part of this place.
Okay, you take a look around and you realise most likely that if you can get underneath the Governor's Palace, at least you'll be protected by the void shielding around the structure itself.
Uh-huh.
So,
does there happen to be a path to the Governor's Palace that's below this current level that I can use my melta bomb to blow into?
can you make me a navigation surface check? Plus 30.
I could indeed. I do have a map. Maps are useful, kids. Where's my navigate? It's an intelligence check, so intelligence check plus 30.
Yeah, within seconds you spot the route you're looking for, and as you head over to the corner, Skarl looks over to you with a question written across his face, but staying silent. You quickly just punch into the ground and secure the melter bomb in place, tripping it off for a few seconds before running back and essentially tackling Skarl out the way, as the floor erupts downwards in a huge plume of just vaporized as dust fills the room as more shells slam into the ground above you. Without any further ado, both you and Skarl scrabble to your feet and dive down the hole, falling amidst cobwebs, bones, and what looks like a number of freshly killed bodies.
Hi, Fresh.
Throats cut, still bleeding.
Human, I assume?
Human.
Ours or theirs?
You can't tell. Most of them seem to be a range of ethnicities. Some of them quite possibly Imperial Army, but all dressed in the same ceremonial robe.
I flick my prey sense goggles on, look around quickly for any heat signatures.
No heat at all. Though as you start to stand up and look around, you realise you're in a vast cavern, maybe 70 metres by 70 metres, filled at least 2 metres thick with fresh corpses.
I just look at
Skarl
Skarl.
is looking around like... What heathen madness is this?
I grab him by the shoulder and say, "We need to get the hell out of here."
Yeah, as you grab the shoulder and you haul yourselves up, can you make me a strength check, please?
Oh, Jesus. Any bonuses?
It's an opposed check, so nope.
Against Scarl or...
Nope.
Septum believes in you.
Okay. Okay. It's 5.3 degrees of
You
success.
manage to stand up, but something and some things grab you from underneath the pile of corpses, and as you, in almost just surprised, you just start yourself up, your leg crushing the bodies underneath you as you haul yourself upright. Arms tear off as they dig nails deep into the armour on you. And you manage to break free and stagger, but you see Skull fending off what looks like thousands of arms reaching up through the corpses towards him. He just goes to work with knives, seemingly uncaring at the point of this, just decapitating anything that moves as he staggers to his feet. You see the sea of bodies you're stood upon almost churning at this point, but you do see an exit.
As I once again grab Scarl to force him in that direction, if he's not already faced that way, push him that way, just start booting down, and pull out my axe as I'm going and just start scything in front of me.
Yeah, the pair of you start diving through, rolling, sometimes back to back, cutting through limbs and that seem to be reaching up to grab you, to hinder your movements, but you kick through them, bones breaking. And finally you reach the doorway. You slam into the wooden archaic door, splintering under the weight of both of you, hitting it at full speed, and roll into what looks like some sort of sanctum, an altar in the centre, and above it, a white and black mask shrieking on a amorphous face as dozens of cultists in the same robes as the bodies in there stand there chanting. And we will call the session at an end there.
Cultists! Ah!
False attack!
Thank you very much for watching this episode of Great Crusade. A bit more heated, a bit more action, and everything has gone to shit. As it was always planned by Z.
No.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the session. If you like what you saw, then come back to us next week, Tuesday, 6 o'clock till 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, but varies. If you like fantasy and like this kind of game, then check out on Thursdays Alex's D&D 5th edition campaign, The Last Beginning, of which I am a part of. And hopefully soon we'll be streaming a Star Wars Fantasy Flight game ran by other Shaun, looking miserable in the top right corner of my Skype screen right now. Anyway, nothing really more to say other than have a good evening, guys, and happy gaming. Ta!
Bye.
Bye.
Doobie doobie doo.